You know, this is a very sad part of this life, sad aspect of the things that we see in this generation. So there was news, I think, about yesterday or so, it was yesterday or day before yesterday, that Cyan Boujee, the pastor's daughter, who's been out there doing the most, shaking her backside for social media, going up and down, doing BBLs and saying that she was like threatening church mothers at her church. They don't play with her. Come, they know she can pull something. You know, absolutely just being a terrible person in general. Later on, accused apparently that she was involved in the whole scheme of sending people to Russia to fight for the war and whatnot, and that thing just faded into nothing. No problem. So they said that she says she bought a house. Now there's a lot of fake things that come up, and I'm sure there will come up something very soon pertaining this house. This is South Africa. There's a lot of realtors and stuff like that. Someone will come up and say, no, that's not a house, she's renting. Something like that. Something. So they say that this house is worth 10 million, and Cyan is now claiming that this is now her house. She now owns this house. So I listened around and I heard that some other people saying that she's not even doing gigs these days. And so where is she getting all this money? It doesn't matter, really. It really doesn't matter. I don't think that's the most important question that lives to be said. The most biggest problem out of this is what young people are going to learn out of this. It's the worst lesson. You can absolutely have no respect. You know, the way she was talking about the church mothers at her parents' house, at her parents' church. You can have no morals. She went to a podcast with Scott Haney and she was saying that, selling yourself is not, you should remember that. So that's the person we're talking about. So she said that person would come out and buy a house or claim to buy a house. And she doesn't even have to buy the house. It's the idea that she peddles out into social media that she owns this house, right? That her version of life has earned her this house. And someone will say, I'm jealous. I have no zero. You know, there's a difference when mostly jealousy comes from people who do not have a perspective of themselves being able to achieve something. Mostly jealousy comes from that. For me, given the type of work that I might want to do, I can achieve whatever I want to achieve, right? But it's not the center. So this is not an issue of jealousy or anything like that. That's completely out of the question. You'd be pointing the wrong question without hearing what I'm trying to point at. I'm trying to point at the type of a motivation, the type of a person who young people are seeing this from. This is a person who's advocated for people, for young girls to go out, sell themselves, and have people do whatever they want with them. One, absolutely no respect for others, elders or whatnots. Two, no respect for her parents' church or any view of that in good light. Nothing, right? And that person comes out and claims to have bought a house. This sends a terrible message. Sends a very terrible message to young people, because what ends up happening is that there's someone who might feel like, well, if Cyan can do this, why do I have to? This stuff sends a really terrible message, a really terrible example. These young people that are going to feel like, hey, you know what? Cyan Boujee probably did it in 2-3 years. Some girls probably sitting there thinking, I can do it in 2. I can go out and do the most. Sell myself to whoever, do whatever, all the things that she advised, claiming it's hard work. Opening legs is not hard work. And all that kind of jazz, right? I'm saying based on what she advised. Not that that's what she does. The advice she gave others to say, it's fine, you can go do that. And so, it's a terrible example for South Africa to have. It's terrible. It's like the worst example to have. If you think of this example of Cyan Boujee, the example that Cyan Boujee has just sent, it's no different to that Nigerian guy who is going viral on TikTok right now. He went to some RDP houses claiming that he owns RDP's numbers or something. And he's saying, yeah, he went to some small people who are renting from him. You know, some small tenants. You know, that's how he puts it in his video. And so he's going viral. Now, why do I say it's such a terrible example like that guy? See, that guy, I've seen him before. I think I once made a video about this trend on Facebook of these girls who are promoting pornographic websites or OnlyFans, whatnot, whatever. And I think he is a manager of them. Might be wrong. I might be wrong. But he looks like he's that manager guy. I might be I might be wrong on that. But apart from that, apart from the fact whether he is, if he is the one, this gent here, yeah, he takes he takes these girls who want to get into that industry and he manages all of that. He manages. That's what he does. That's his business. I don't know if he has other things, and I know that that's his business. Taking girls, these girls that want to be taken advantage of by these platforms. Sexual exploitive platforms and stuff like that, and then they publish all these videos. There's this house where these girls just live lewd. I had to block all these pages. They were being promoted all over. I'm glad now they don't trend for nothing. Absolutely worthless stuff. It's absolutely worthless. It's no different to that. To what this guy was there. He's implying that without having to abide by right and being that type of a person, you can't claim to have RDP houses, right? You can't claim to have RDP houses. What? And then this is the kind of an environment that young people grow up knowing this person has taken advantage of this, taken advantage of the system here. So these young people grow up without any sense of something to turn back and look back and say, good came out from this. These are terrible examples. Terrible examples that our young people are growing up seeing. They're seeing the Cyan Boujees who know nothing about labor, call themselves laborsome, and claim they have worked hard. And she can post a picture whether she owns the house, she doesn't own the house, it doesn't matter. Is that she stands as a person who has become a motivation for everything vile. And yet, young people see people like that get rewarded. And this idea of material accumulation, we gotta really teach our young kids balance, modesty, and an upright life, because materialism gets pumped out, and it's exactly what the world pushes. Our young people are seeing the worst things, and the worst kind of people get rewarded by society. So what do you think it does to them? Messes up their thinking. They come out, want to do whatever they want to do because they've seen these people, they've seen these mandems do whatever they want to do and still get rewarded. Our efforts, guys, must increase in combating this type of content that our young people are seeing on social media. It's Ricky. I'll see you later.